The Nine Tails is one of the most iconic aspects about the Naruto series. It started off as an evil force of nature, and then the Nine Tails developed more as a character as the series progressed. By the end of Naruto Shippuden, the Nine Tails had become one of the main characters in the series. One of the most interesting things about the Nine Tails was its design. Naturally, the Nine Tails wasn't something Kishimoto invented. It is very much ingrained into Japanese folklore, and there are several other depictions of the Nine Tails, but Kishimoto managed to pick a design that fits the Naruto universe very well and also looked extremely good, iconic, and also intimidating as hell. Look at this thing here. The design didn't only extend to the Nine Tails' body itself, it also concerned the Naruto transformations into the Nine Tails, because Naruto's design also changed the more he progressed into the Tail Beast's power. First, he gained the red eyes with slits for pupils, very characteristic of the Nine Tails with pronounced whiskers. Then he began to get the orange chakra until he fully developed the Kyuubi Chakra Cloak with the bubbles and all that. Those design choices were very good because they showed an alien chakra that was completely different from other shinobis, something a monster would possess. Then in Naruto Shippuden, when the Four Tails appeared, things really changed. The chakra became more intense, more frightening. We were afraid of Naruto when he got into that state. The power of the Nine Tails spoke by itself. It was as though Naruto had become a miniature of the Nine Tails, just like Yamato says in that very arc. Then Naruto develops bones when he reaches the Six Tails, turning even more into the Nine Tails. And whenever the Eighth Tail appears, the Nine Tails' body developed muscles, and that's when it was trying to break out of Pain's Chibaku Tensei. All those design evolutions were very good, and we could see that every time Naruto used more chakra, the Nine Tails' state progressed towards Naruto becoming the Nine Tails itself. But then, in the middle of the road, there was a very big problem that kind of affected this magnificent design that Kishimoto used for the Nine Tails. He made Killer Bee and the Eight Tails exactly the same. The chakra was the same, red, orange bubbles with more intensity whenever Bee entered version 2, and also gaining bones and stuff like that the more tails you got. It was the exact same appearance as Naruto's Nine Tails transformation, and this was extremely disappointing. I've always thought that the Nine Tails had a completely unique chakra that no one else had in the entire world, and then all of a sudden the other Jinchurikis / Bijuus had the same style of chakra design. If you think about it, Gaara used the version 2 Tail Beast mode in the forest outside of the Leaf Village when he fought against Sasuke and Naruto. He was slowly progressing his transformation into the One Tail, and the partial transformations looked extremely different from Naruto's partial transformations. He was getting sand all over his body and turning as well into a smaller version of Shukaku, but in a very different design. And sure, Shukaku being a tail beast was definitely a retcon, but a retcon that works very well within the story. Kishimoto hadn't really planned all the 9 tail beasts. Still, it is a very seamless retcon. It doesn't really affect the story. It actually makes things even better. You would think that because Gaara had that type of partial transformation and Naruto had the orange bubbles, that every single tail beast would have a different type of partial transformation as well. But this was not the case whenever we saw Bee for the first time. The uniqueness the Nine Tails had was kind of ruined. And then in the middle of the War Arc, things got even worse because we saw that every single Tail Beast / Jinchuriki had the exact same chakra style / design. They all developed orange chakra, and then they became essentially version 2 Jinchurikis, exactly the same with the red intense chakra. The only thing that vaguely changed was their shape, and that's essentially because they were different characters, because the version 2 kind of takes on the shape of the Jinchuriki, which I guess is a silver lining, at least that is different. Also, a couple of tails and a couple of differences were thrown into the designs of the other Jinchurikis during the War Arc. However, the chakra looks the same, it's all red. That really makes the Kyuubi not very unique anymore, and that should definitely be the case. Also, it would have looked much better if all tail beasts had different designs as they were evolving, especially in the fight against Naruto and Bee where they were involved. That would have made the fight more pleasing to watch, with more variations in colors other than just the same thing here and there. It makes everything kind of bland, to be honest. And think about it. It makes a lot of sense for the Nine Tails to develop an orange bubbly chakra that gets intense, covering your entire body eventually. It translates really well to the full tail beast version of Kurama. You would say, oh yeah, definitely that's gonna be Kurama when it grows up. However, this chakra style doesn't make any sense whatsoever to the other tail beasts. Take the Six Tails, for example, this white slug with a lot of slime around it. Does this red chakra really fit this big slug in the end? It really does not. Or the Three Tails, this massive turtle, or even the One Tail, because we saw how the One Tail was supposed to look in the previous partial transformations when Gaara used it in the forest, and we don't see it again in Shippuden because Shukaku gets taken out of Gaara, and then we never see the transformations anymore. But the orange chakra wouldn't really fit Shukaku whatsoever, would it? This orange chakra was Naruto's signature transformation chakra, and then when Kishimoto realized all 9 tail beasts are gonna have the same transformations, I have to do something different. Then he came up with KCM, which is a different design. And it doesn't make much sense if you think about it. Why would Naruto's 9 tails chakra transform into this yellow bright thing all of a sudden just because he can control it better? While B, who is a perfect Jinchuriki and should have much better control over the 8 tails chakra, at least when Naruto is up to KCM 1, he only transforms into the version 2 normally. He doesn't have a special thing. And sure, you can say Naruto is the protagonist, so therefore he is obviously gonna have something different. And also in universe, because the 9 tails is the most powerful, therefore it may have something different. But it doesn't really make much sense because Naruto is taking the 9 tails' chakra. He should be taking the same orange-red chakra as he was using during the entire series. However, he should be able to now use it more appropriately. In KCM 1, it's by far the worst design the Naruto character has ever had. I also don't really like the color very much. Sure, KCM 2 and then Six Paths KCM is much better than KCM 1, but I don't like KCM 1 whatsoever, and that's the one he uses the most in the war, which is kind of unfortunate. But KCM as a completely different design only came to be because the other Jinchurikis had the exact same type of chakra when they were transforming, and therefore Kishimoto had to make Naruto different. It would have been much better if the other Jinchurikis slash Bijuus had very different transformations with different colors and different chakra styles, and Naruto kept the red, orange, intense chakra during his mastery of the 9 tails' chakra. I know this doesn't really play that big of a role in the grand scheme of things. It's mostly aesthetic, but aesthetics are very important for a visual media, such as manga and anime. Let me know in the comments below if you think that different transformations would have been better for the Jinchuriki. Like this video if you enjoyed this content, subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so already, and thanks for watching.